morning, guys, gals, and non-binary pals. It is Thursday morning, and I am starting what will very likely be the last regular weekly vlog on this channel. Perhaps ever, but at least for the foreseeable future. Now, do not fret. First off, I'm going to explain further as the video goes on. But secondly, there's still a lot of content coming your way. I'm just not going to be recording for a bit. But like I said, I'll explain about that a little further on in the video. It is Thursday. We have 3 therapies scheduled today. Kiddo's up and in a good mood. I'm tired, what else is new? But otherwise feeling prepared to take on the day. But I wanted to start this vlog with a little bit of a PSA because ironically, or maybe it's just the way that algorithms are set up, very likely it's that, but I actually got into a bit of a discussion yesterday on Threads because some extremely entitled, and I'm being so nice when I use those words, extremely entitled person on Threads went on there and said that she doesn't understand why all of the baby changing tables in bathrooms are out in the open sometimes, because she doesn't want people seeing her child's genitals when she changes their diaper. Fair enough. So why doesn't every facility put the baby changing tables inside the big stall the way some people do? That's the ideal scenario. She wants to be able to go into the big stall. And I'm doing this because some people agreed with her. Other selfish, entitled, myopic people agreed with her. And other people kept explaining to her that big stall is actually the disabled stall. It's big because it needs to accommodate people that are in wheelchairs or that have walkers or that have other sort of situations where they need a larger entrance and a larger area in order to use the facilities. So it's not big for no reason. It's big for a very specific purpose, and you being in there to change your child when you could be changing them elsewhere is defeating that purpose. And she kept insisting, again, stupid, myopic, entitled person, kept insisting, I'll call it what I want. It is the big stall. I don't care what it's meant for. I want to be able to use it to change my child. Children deserve privacy too. I'm not arguing that your child doesn't deserve privacy. I'm just trying in vain to let you know that your perception of the situation at large is incorrect. And if you were to decide to let accurate information in and realize that you're not entitled to that space because that space is meant for other people, maybe you'd approach it more of a situation of, oh, I'm so grateful that this particular place has the thing in here, but either way, I have options. I could change my child in the car. I could change my child at my house. I could just change my child, wait till everybody's in a stall and then change my child out in the open. You have options. Disabled people do not. This is their one and only option, and you're taking it from them because you feel like it and because you feel entitled to that space. Ended up blocking a bunch of people because it's not worth, like, there's enough things messing with my peace these days. I don't need to invite more. But then, ironically, just now I opened my phone and I'm scrolling Reels on Facebook because you can't escape Reels now since Facebook is everywhere. And there's a guy who does mostly Disney content, but he does it with a little bit of a cheeky adult twist. And the video is like a skit, sort of, where he's trying to go to the bathroom. And so he's trying to go into a companion bathroom. That's what they're called. There's actually placards outside the doors that say companion restroom. And he's trying to go in there as a single adult person, but the door is locked. Why is the door locked? Obviously it's occupied, right? But it's not occupied by a disabled person and their companion the way the bathroom is intended to be used, because sometimes, like in the situation with me and my son is now older, And some women might not be comfortable with a 13, 14-year-old boy coming into the women's restroom, even if it is just to use the disabled stall. So these bathrooms exist so that differently sexed people can use this one bathroom to help each other go to the bathroom, use the facilities, whatever the case may be. So you don't have to take your adult wife into the men's room if she needs help going to the bathroom, etc. But some people at Disney World use these bathrooms to have adult activities. And this is not just a rumor. I personally myself, pre-COVID, witnessed to this where I was waiting for a bathroom to use with my son, and the people were taking forever and a long time, and we were just waiting and waiting and waiting. And luckily we were in a situation where we could wait at that time, because kiddo typically doesn't let me know that he needs to go until he needs to go right now. And eventually when they came out, it was two perfectly well-abled people that were using the facilities that I needed to take my son, my small, at the time 7 or 8-year-old son, into to use the bathroom. They were using it as a personal motel. Yeah, disgusting, and obviously again entitled and selfish, terrible human being behavior. It shouldn't be allowed in public, human behavior, but it happens. And I know this for a fact, again, because I've witnessed it for myself. And a lot of people in the comments are obviously, ha ha ha, oh my gosh, that's crazy, whatever. Or even making jokes themselves, or like, oh, that's a great idea, why didn't I never think of that? But then other people in the comments are saying, for the love of God, that's not what those are for. As the parent of a disabled child, as the child of a disabled parent, this is what these bathrooms are for. Please do not use this way. Please do not watch this video and get ideas. Have a little bit of humanity, have a little bit of empathy. You know, this is the only option a lot of us have, and if you're in there for 20 minutes because you couldn't wait until you got home, you're going to end up ruining somebody's day because they might have an accident or something, and it was because, what, you were selfish and disgusting, frankly. So, yeah, it's just funny that, you know, within 12 hours, really, I was bombarded with these things. And so the PSA is, these bathrooms exist, in case you didn't know, but they're not for you. If they're for you, then you already know that and you're already using them, and good for you, and I hope that you never have any obstacles in life whenever you need to access these bathrooms. But if you're just somebody that doesn't want to have to wait in line for a bathroom, if you're somebody that has options otherwise, and you really should consider all of your options before you decide to take an option from somebody that doesn't have any other choice, please take those other options before you decide to, out of a sense of entitlement and privilege of not knowing what it's like to have to maneuver a disability, take that choice from somebody else. Or not even a choice, because again, if you're disabled, you don't have a choice. It's either this or have an accident. And if there's somebody else already disabled in the stall, what are you gonna do? But if you could be that person that makes it so that another family's day is not ruined out of your selfishness, please be that guy. Be that guy that considers other people and says, I have choices. This is not the best one. I'm gonna do something else. Just saying. So I just spent 10 minutes on my soapbox. This is not the way I meant to start the vlog. I promise I can't promise it's gonna get more fun from here, but stick around, because there's more to come and it's not all about potty etiquette. So yeah, happy Thursday. Hey friends, it's Friday afternoon, actually. Yes, it is afternoon already. I had to double check. And kiddo's right next to me, hence the awkward angle, because I don't want him to have to move and I don't want to move myself. So this is just what it's going to have to be for now. Today has been very productive. It was intended to be a very busy day because I had a meeting set up with something I'm working on. And then kiddo had therapy scheduled, and then I have another meeting with kiddo's behavioral team. It's the bi-weekly meeting that I have on a regular basis to kind of touch base and whatnot. The first meeting I had needed to be rescheduled. The person I was meeting with couldn't make it today, so we're meeting next week instead. And then my back has been so screwy lately that I ended up having to cancel my son's physical therapy today because anything besides, like, sitting is tolerable, laying is ideal. Standing hurts like crazy. And I can imagine how I would have actually, like, tried to do physical therapy with the, you know, having to put together sets for him to lay on and like his weights and having to get down on the floor and help him into positions and stuff. Like, it would have been actually impossible. So we canceled for today, and hopefully by next week my back's better. So that just leaves me with the behavior therapy meeting, and I am fairly confident that today is the day that I finally break up with ABA once and for all. We've been with this company for over a decade, and we've been extremely lucky that, well, either luck or the fact that I've always insisted, I guess, but we've always had, for the most part, because there have been a few duds here and there, but for the most part, we've always had great therapists that were open to aligning with, like, the way that we parent and the way that we approach neurodivergence and, like, accepting my son for where he's at and not trying to train him to be typical, but rather using behavior therapy as a means to learn skills that might otherwise be complicated to teach in, like, a typical way. Unfortunately, since we came back from teletherapy a couple years ago and we were kind of forced back into in-person therapy, it's just been one dud after the next. It's been at least a couple years since kiddo's made any progress really in any of his goals. And the goals that they're working on are just redundant, really, because there are things that speech is already working on or that OT is already working on. And speech and OT are making progress in these arenas, whereas ABA is not. So, as much as my son, for the most part, enjoys having the therapist come over and, like, hang out with him, that's not the point of therapy. And so I'm pretty much allowing this meeting to be the reason, and this is not coming out of left field for them at all. I've been telling them, like, this is not working out, and they've been actually telling me, the director anyways, the one that I have the meeting with, has been telling me how she understands that this is not working, and they're trying to fix things, and they're trying to, you know, make things work. But it's been months of us having these conversations, and nothing has really changed. And so, if at this point he's not really gaining anything from it, then I don't see why we should keep kind of insisting. Fortunately for us, we're in a situation where he doesn't really have many problem behaviors that need to be addressed with behavior therapy. And when I say problem behaviors, I mean behaviors that are potentially dangerous to himself or others. Because again, we're not, I know, I agree, because we're not in the business of trying to make him seem typical. That's not ever been my point. It's just a matter of teaching him to be safe and then acquiring extra skills along the way. Using my expertise in him as my child and their expertise in therapy to come together and brainstorm how can we approach this particular skill so that it's easy for him to learn, right? And I feel like the ideal therapist is somebody that has experience in their field enough that they can have these back and forth brainstorming conversations with me, but is also secure enough that they don't feel like I'm stepping on their toes and they're willing to collaborate and so on. And unfortunately, I feel like as collaborative as the director is, she might be lacking the experience to back it up. I'm not saying experience in behavior therapy in general, but certainly in children like my son. And then as far as the therapist, he seems like a great guy for the little bit, you know, we've known him about a year now. And for the couple hours a week that he's in my home, that's the extent to which I know him, right? I can say that, yes, he seems like a nice guy. But I've never encountered, we've been through dozens of therapists, through over a decade of multiple disciplines, Never have I encountered anybody so lacking in ambition and initiative. This person, this therapist, literally will only do things if he's directly told to do them by his director, and even then he'll only do them when she's in the room. And otherwise he's just like hanging out with my kid, which again is great fun, but not the point of therapy, not the thing that we're willing to risk his health every time he comes over for. And so if this is the best we got, and again, I've been asking for months for a replacement and that still hasn't happened. If this is the best we got, then it's not worth it to continue. So pretty much today's the day that the other shoe drops, and I'm gonna pretty much tell the director, like, you have the next hour to convince me that what you have coming is so great a benefit that you're gonna completely change my mind, or this will be the last time we meet, and yesterday will have been the last time that that guy comes to my house. And that's that. So I guess I'll let you guys know how that goes. But yeah, for now, wish me luck, because I really hate these types of confrontational conversations, even though I feel like I'm in the right, and I feel like I'm secure in my choice. It just really sucks breaking up with people that I feel she really does have the best intention, but unfortunately, like I said, the experience is not there to back that up and bring us to where we need to be. And so it just is what it is. So I'm not looking forward to having the conversation, but I know that it needs to happen, and I feel like I'm doing the right thing. So yeah, like I said, I'll give you guys the update, I guess, but for now, happy Friday. Okay, it's done. It took all of like 15 minutes out of the hour that we had scheduled to talk, but she kind of had a feeling that this was going to happen, if not today, then very, very soon, because she could see my mounting frustration whenever she did come over and supervise the ABA sessions. And so she was not, I think, too caught off guard. She did say that she was going to try to not get us like discharged, because she's still hopeful that she can find somebody that will fit our case. And I told her that I am open to that, you know, because I don't have a plan B. Plan B was just go without therapy. And that might not be the worst thing. And either way, he's going to be a while without therapy, right? Because they've taken this long to find somebody. It turns out she had somebody in mind, and this person now is going back to school and is leaving the company altogether. So she's basically starting from scratch all over again. And she's been looking for somebody for months. So I'm willing to bet it's going to be at least that long, unless some crazy stuff happens before they find a replacement. So he is going to be getting a break, and in the meantime, obviously, I'm going to be witnessing, like, so is this break useful, helpful? Has it been detrimental? Do we need to go back to this kind of therapy because for whatever reason, it's not agreeing with him to not have this therapy? So I am going to get to trial run that, as it were. And if she's able to find somebody that's willing to tick all the boxes, and at this point, considering everything we've been through, they really have to tick all of the boxes. I'm not willing to compromise. Then at that point I can determine, okay, he needs this, so let's give this new person a try. Or he's thriving right now and I really don't see a point. But I always like having options. I was coming into this conversation just ready to like break up, period. And now I'm getting that, but also the potential option to return should the stars all align and everything, you know, work out, right? So can't say no to an option. But yeah, officially our therapist is not coming back. And like I said, the director was very accepting and accommodating and understanding about that, because it's been a long time coming. It's not a surprise considering all the conversations that we've had. If anything, she might have been surprised that it happened today. But generally speaking, it was not a shock that we were going to be like, I'd rather be off the schedule than continue with this guy. So it is what it is. But yeah, that conversation's over. It's behind me now. And we embark on the start of potentially the new normal all over again. So proud of myself for doing the thing. Hey friends, it is Wednesday. I meant to wrap up the video days ago, but I don't know if you can hear the frog currently reciting in my throat. I've been really sick since the weekend, and I can tell you with confidence that it's just a cold. I can say that with confidence because I actually had to be hospitalized yesterday because of severe dehydration due to said cold. And while I was there, among other things, they tested me for every flu under the sun and COVID, and they were all negative, thank goodness. It's just a really bad cold. And also, thank goodness, up until now, I'm the only one in my household sick. So hubby's fine, kiddo's fine, and hopefully it stays that way, because I can't imagine it getting much worse than feeling like this, except of course for feeling like this and also having to take care of someone else who also feels this bad. So yeah, I'm actually on an upswing right now, is the best part, but I'm not feeling great, and I sound awful, I know I do, but it is what it is. I wanted to wrap up the video because, as I mentioned in the last video, and as I probably mentioned earlier in this video, I genuinely don't remember because it's been so long since I vlogged. This is going to be the last, like, up-to-date, recent, congruent, I don't know, vlog for a while, because you know how I've been telling you guys literally for months that I've been building up a stockpile of videos for my channel. Well, starting 1 week from today, I'm going to start releasing all those videos that I've been stockpiling. There's been some pretty exciting and intense stuff going on in the background for the last year-ish, and I've been documenting all of it. And the time has finally come where I feel ready to kind of start sharing that journey with you. And as such, I'm not going to be editing or recording or whatever in real time for a bit, because I want to give you guys a chance to catch up with all these videos. And like I said, I've been recording these videos for several months now. So there are several months of content just kind of waiting for you guys to finally lay eyes on them. So that's the big announcement, is that there's very big life things going on these days, and there have been for quite some time, but I've kind of been keeping everything close to the vest, and it's time now to finally talk about all this stuff that's been going on. So I hope you guys will stick around, because it is some very cool stuff. Some of it's a little intense, some of it's a little scary, but it's all very real. And you guys know that I've been documenting my life on this channel for literal years at this point, and to the degree where I'm oversharing a lot of the time, and potentially this is oversharing. But it's been a long time. This content has been a long time in the making. These life changes have been a long time in the making. And like I said, it's finally time to share. So thank you for being here thus far. I don't know what the channel's gonna look like once all of this content that I've had building up, like, once it's all out. But all that to say, there's literally like a year's worth of content yet that I have to share with you. So the channel's not going anywhere anytime soon, and I'm still going to be reading comments and replying to comments and everything. I'm just not going to be day-to-day recording and editing for a while. But if you've been here thus far, I hope that you'll stick around and stay tuned, because there's a lot of really, really cool stuff still coming up, and I would love for you to share in it with me. So with that, thank you for being here. Thank you for watching, and we will chat again really, really soon. Bye.